What's up everyone, it's your boy Infrar-Ed. Welcome to the Scott Reports. Today I bring you an anime review of Kiznaiver episode 5. Another pretty decent episode, as today we got an episode that really got some traction as far as the development of Maki and Yuta, in addition to Kazuhira and Chidori. As our episode starts off with the Kiznaiver team at a resort. They're at a cabin that is funded by the Kiznaiver committee. However, they have to upkeep it on their own as far as, doing any type of chores or cooking or what have you. It's pretty much just a cabin there for them to go on for their exercise that they're doing, because again, they have to survive the summer vacation with each other, and this is one of the trials that they have to go through. So everybody decides to split up into teams this time as far as responsibilities. So we have one half of the team that's inside that's going to do the cooking and the cleaning, and then another half of the team that's going to do all the heavy lifting as far as getting firewood and what have you. Main reason why the teams were split up this way is Chidori wants to distance herself away from Katsu right now because she is extremely jealous of how Kazuhira is seeing Sonozaki now, as he's being more close to her and expressing more feelings to her versus somebody that's been there all along for him like Chidori was. And Tenga kind of nudged this along a little bit too by trying to say, hey, if we're going to split up the teams, maybe you need to be with this guy, and kind of pulls him in a little bit. But she immediately gets embarrassed because she doesn't want to try to show the feelings that she has, and decides to split the teams up in the way that they are. So as far as the teams go, we have Chidori, Tenga, Yuta, and Magi inside of the house. They're going to be doing their thing while everybody else is outside. And while we're outside, the outside team, which is the rest of the cast, we do get a little bit of funniness with Immoral, because this guy's just a riot every time he's on the screen. So they're outside chopping firewood, and as he's chopping the wood, he's looking at the wood and the axe, and he's like, hey, Katsu, you want to put your head right here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and chop it, and hey, maybe I'll hit your head, maybe I won't, but the pain would be so good. As they just do a very good job of making this guy so creepy, because he's just thirst pain. So once dinner's done inside, everybody's getting ready to eat up, and Tenga's really trying to push Chidori and her personality right now. Like, oh, this is fantastic. Chidori made this. This is great. Don't you guys think? Look at this. Hey, take a bite of it. And this is where we get our jokes with Yuta again. Tenga just loves to torment this guy. Like, hey, fatty, go ahead and eat of this. But we get a little bit of characterization with Yuta here, as he's saying, I don't want any of this food. I only eat eggs and ground beef. And Tenga, he kind of acts like he cares about that. He was like, that's because you used to be fat, right? So now you want to watch your weight. So with that being said, Yuta takes out a little bottle of pills, and I can't remember exactly if they were pills or just like something in a little jar that he eats as supplement instead. And we get a quick glimpse of Nico taking a look at what he was eating, as he says, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this. Tenga continues to nudge him on, saying, you know what, you need to eat more than that. Come on, eat up. And again, Chidori, for the most part, she is just trying to keep herself away. Even though she appreciates that Tenga is saying all these things about her, she doesn't want to have it out there if she has any feelings for Katsu right now, because it's pretty much just going nowhere because he's so close to Sonozaki. Meanwhile, on the outside, Sonozaki is having a conversation with the school counselor, who we found out whose name is Oroshibara, outside. And Sonozaki's being very hesitant or refusing to take an order that we didn't hear about yet for a new type of mission for the Kiznaivers, as she's pretty reluctant to put them through this type of test, stating that they've already been through what they have. Meanwhile, we get a little bit more progression as far as the plot and what the counselor wanted to do with the bullies, as she says their main goal is to try to scare one or more of the Kiznaivers. However, if they happen to kill Tenga in the process, she's okay with that. It is also at this point that the episode starts to focus more on Maki, as she's off by herself, which is normal at this point. However, she's being tormented by a voice in her head that keeps telling her to break, break, break. And as she just brushes it off and goes to Yuta, who's sitting by herself, she actually made him the red beef or the ground beef and the eggs that he requested, that he said he can only eat proving that she does care for him in some type of way, but it may be just her own way, and she acts like she detests him. However, these two have become very close, as we get a little bit of backstory on Yuta as well, saying he became fat because he was a latchkey kid, so he used to just go to the convenience store and eat everything he could afford and everything that he liked, because, you know, no one was there to basically tell him, you know, don't eat too much Twinkies, you know, you're gonna get too big. So that's why he got fat, and, you know, after he lost the weight, he basically wanted to keep it down. If it's anything further than that, of course, we're going to find out later. But that's all we get for this episode. However, it did focus on Maki herself, as Yuta even says, you're the type of person who likes to listen. And she blew it off by just saying, no, I actually just am bored and I'm sitting here. I don't care about you at all. However, she does have some type of feelings for her to go out of her way to make him the meal that he would only eat so he can enjoy the food like everybody else. We also get a little bit more of her psyche going on right now as she tries to get deeper into Yuta by saying that, you know, you like my chest, right? So if it was something wrong with me, would you still like it? And he didn't really have an answer for that because she was so blunt, and he didn't really get a chance to answer either, as Maki just jumps on and mounts him and saying, you're not a virgin, right? So why don't you go ahead and take a look at it? It got really kind of dark and creepy, but it was funny at the same time because right now he is scared. He's looking like she is about to take this from me and I don't know what to do. But before that happens, we see the teacher, the homeroom teacher, and we finally found out his name is Yamada, outside, and he's actually taking a picture of it saying, so it looks like you two are really about to get into it. But you know what? That's an illicit act, and you're supposed to report that. So they breaks that up. What's going on with Chidori and Katsuhiro right now is Chidori sees Katsu with Sonozaki, and Sonozaki touches his cheek, and that's all she sees. She takes as maybe her kissing him and runs away, as she's just basically heartbroken, as again she's putting everything out there for Katsu, but he's relaying all of his feelings, or at least the feelings that he acts like he has, to Sonozaki. However, all Sonozaki was doing was smacking a mosquito off of his face, and this is still kind of a problem I have with Katsu right now as the main character, as he's too bland. And I know the series overall is supposed to deal with him growing and progressing, but we're on episode 5 now. Start showing a more different personality instead of a blank face, instead of no personality at all. It's getting a little bit stale as the characters are more coming out. They have more to do with the story than him right now, and he's the main character. It's more like it's about everybody else, and he's just there as a device to get everybody else to grow instead of the opposite. So with that going on, we also see the bullies outside. They see Chidori running, and one of them isolates her and sees her by himself. The other one's deciding to go after Tenga directly, and we are back inside of the cabin as the lights go out. And before that happened though, Yamada says that they are testing a new type of project for the Kiznaivers, as we get more insight on what Sonozaki was talking about. The kids have already went through the bonding process. They're past that point right now. However, they're experimenting with a new type of experiment for the Kiznaivers as we get our new mission, which is called the test of bravery, because Chidori was outside and she gets pain, so of course when she feels pain, everybody else feels it as well. So as they try to find out where she is, because everybody knows she was gone, all the lights go out and people in those chicken suits start to chainsaw in to the cabin and start attacking everybody, trying to get a scare out of them. So they just decide to run away and go find Chidori as fast as they can. It is at this point that they are surrounded. Tenga starts going in, starts beating these goons up as they realize the ones outside are just masquerading as people. They're not really a threat. They're not scary at all. As they go into a graveyard with each one of their family names on it, they're basically trying to get the scare out of them. And this test of bravery is what they have to pass for this next one. So he tells Katsu to go and find Chidori no matter what. We'll take care of things here. And Nico just comes in and bashes one of the mascots in the back of the head with a big mallet stick, and we found out that was the bully who was trying to take revenge on Tenga, as Tenga was about to wreck him, but Nico got to him first. So that causes hurt between him and the bully who is sitting in front of Chidori right now. And we find out about the bully that the one that was with Chidori actually resents being in a position that he's in, because if it wasn't for the other guy, he would be in an overall better standing. He would be more popular. He would have more ladies. Instead, he decided to align himself with this lowlife and is bringing him down. And from here, he says that he wants to kill himself. And that is when Chidori comes in and starts explaining that life is too short for you to want to kill yourself for this type of thing. I feel pain for my friend Katsu to see him go through all of this, and you guys are responsible for a lot of what's going on with him. You beat him up every day, you take his money, and to see him do nothing about it hurts me. And as she's expressing these feelings, she's holding her heart as we finally see Katsu get some damn feeling, because he is feeling the same thing that she has, and everybody else is feeling this as well. As the bully, even though he begins to feel remorse, he is saddened, and now we have Chidori who is saddened as well and expressing her feelings for her friend. And we find out that this new experiment that they're doing in a test of bravery is actually connecting brain waves between the Kiznaivers. So everybody's on the same wavelength as they begin to share the feelings that Chidori is feeling right now. The crew is then able to find Chidori, and Kazuhira goes up to Chidori and expresses his feelings, saying, "I really appreciate the way you feel." And again, I feel like we've done this with this character already. He's already thanked Chidori for caring about him so much. I guess we're getting a little bit of progression with him actually feeling something in his heart, which was the same compassion and emotion that she had. Now these guys share pain, as well as it seems like they're beginning to share emotional pain as well. So if something really bad happened to one of the Kiznaivers and that comes out, that can potentially be dangerous, especially with what's going on with Maki right now, as I feel that she probably had a twin and something really traumatic may have happened to that twin. I think that's what's going on with her, and the type of pain that will cause everybody emotionally is going to be enough to wreck everyone to their core. But I guess we'll just have to wait for that, because the episode ends with, again, the test of bravery, and what Yamada-kun explains is that the overall test, and I'm taking my time with this to try to explain it better, is that everybody should be on the same wavelength as far as pain and brainwave activity as well, which also leads me to my theory that I think this Kizuna system is not paved with good intentions. I think this is a test to probably make like a collective army or military, where you have a whole bunch of people who are connected to each other by pain and by brain activity. So if they're connected by pain, then they're going to be more careful with their bodies and work as one. And if they're on the same wavelength as far as brains, maybe they're trying to expand that to the point where they can feel each other's emotions and can control everyone by one person. Like maybe they're planning to have like a guy up in the army somewhere controlling a whole army of people with his brain and his feelings, and have a remote people outside running off of one person's brainwaves. I'm kind of rambling on, but I think that's where this is trying to go with this series. It's Trigger, you never know, but it is an interesting theory, and that was pretty much the end of the episode as well. So that lets me know that they're trying to go somewhere. There's definitely some layers that still need to be peeled back, because the bullies didn't succeed at tormenting Tenga. So I wonder if the female counselor is still trying to kill him for some reason, or was it just a means to get them to help her out on this. Also, overall, I would like to know what you guys think is the meaning of this Kizuna system as well. Again, I think it's going towards something bigger with them trying to make a military unit. What do you guys think it's for? That was the episode in a nutshell, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you very much for joining me as always, and as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me, and I really appreciate that. And stay tuned. If you like the video, go ahead and drop it a like, and if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as I'm bringing you guys content almost every day right now. And be sure to join me tomorrow as I bring you a review of Boku no Hero Academia, as well as ReZero, two of my all-time favorite anime of the season, both on the same day. So that is it for the Scott Report. It's your boy Infrar-Ed signing out. See you soon.